Hi friends, you're welcome to this tutorial. If this is your first time of watching my videos, you're highly welcome. Please subscribe to my channel. In this tutorial, we are starting with the shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus hemming allowance. I made use of 13 inches. I'm getting my chest line 8.5 plus 1/2 inch, making it 9 inches. I'm going to use 1/2 inch for shoulder slope. This is my half length and my full length plus hemming allowance. It's time to connect. I'm getting my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. My waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. This is my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. The top got to my hip line. Now it's time to connect. At the bust point, I'm coming down by 3 inches like so. I'm connecting the waist measurement to meet the 3 inches I went down by. I'm going to connect this to meet with the armhole like so. This is going to serve as our armhole. I want to blend it a bit. I'm going to use 3 inches for my neck width. You can make it of 3.5 depending on your size, or 4 inches. I'm making use of 1.5 inches for the neck depth. Remember, what we are cutting is the back. We are cutting the back piece first. Sorry, I didn't tell you from the onset. This is the back piece. I'm going to go down by 1/2 inch for shoulder slope. This is all for the back. It's time to cut out. So let's label it. This is the back piece, okay? At this point, I'm going to go up by 1/2 inch so that we can eliminate the pointed edge. And I'll use my curve ruler to curve it this way. So I'm going to cut out. So the back is all ready. We are going to use this to cut the front, instead of starting all over again to take the body measurement. The front is wider than the back. You can make use of 3 inches or 3.5. So I'm making use of 2.5 inches, okay? I'm cutting out. I'm using the back to cut out. Like so. So you need to mark here because this is where our neck depth for the front is starting from. I want to rule a line. I'll rule it all the way down. So it's going to serve as a guide. So it's best to rule your line, alright, before working on the front piece. At this point, I'm going to go down by 4.5 inches. You can extend it if you desire. And I'm going to use my ruler to curve it this way. You can use a curve ruler to give it a little bit of curve if you desire, but I'm making use of a long ruler, a straight ruler rather. So I'm going to mark my half length and my chest line like so. And I'll take out the back piece to work on the front piece. So the neck depth I'm going to make use of for the front is 7.5 inches. It's not going to be deep, okay? Don't worry. I'm going to connect it like so. And then connect it this way to meet with my half length like so. So it's time for us to cut out. Now it's time for us to cut this out. You know, we cut this front on fold, so I'm going to split it open like so. This is how it's looking. We're going to take one piece out. You can make use of right, you can make use of the left one. So I'm taking out the right piece out to work on the left. So at the left piece, I'm going up by 2.5 inches. When you look at the photo, one is longer than the other. So I'm going to connect it like so. So it's always good you make use of a curve ruler whenever you're cutting your fabric. And we are going to cut this out. So we're going to go in by 1/2 inch like so. And connect it to meet at the half length. So this is all for the left one. I'm picking the right piece to work on it. I'm going in by 1/2 inch. And I'll connect it to meet with the waist line. And connect it this way. So we're going to cut this out. So this is how it's looking. It's such a beautiful top. I've arranged it, okay. It has a waistband, 2 pieces waistband, one for the right and one for the left. You keep it this way, stitch and turn it out. You can cut out a waistband of 15 inches or 20 inches. So after turning with your lining, this is where you stitch your shoulder, the 2 shoulders, then the sides with your body measurement. The top is very easy to make. And while stitching, you need to put in your waistband like so. Repeat the same thing here. This is such a beautiful top. So at this point, this is where you can put your press button and then a fancy button up here. Put your press button here, press it down, put your fancy button. You can as well put a press button in here, like so, and one here too. Press it down and press, and put a fancy button at that point. Here, if you desire, you can still put a press button, or you can wear something inside to cover your boobs if you don't want it to show. We've come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. You're going to help me grow my channel, and I'll also be posting tutorials which you can learn from, a well-detailed tutorial. And after watching, kindly help me and share. See you in my next tutorial. Thank you, friends.